Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm Ellie. Tonight is Trivia Night. It's one of the most popular shows we got during the week. Everybody loves trivia. We got a lot of news. I did put a breaking news post out last night about 11 o'clock, and it was just to clear up some things on the affidavit. And so if you have any questions on this, be sure to put it in the comments. Um, uh, Boy, U.S. energy. Now, normally, coal with clean coal, it's I'm kind of okay with it. Depends on where it's at. Well, Wyoming, um, they say they get kind of troubling news. Former President Barack Obama is long gone from office, but in 2016, his ban his administration imposed on coal leases on federal lands is back in place after Friday court ruling that it reinstated it. A coal mine from leases on federal land makes up almost half the nation's annual coal production. So private companies do the actual coal mining in the states, such as Wyoming and Montana and Colorado. The decision is a backward steps for them, and that doesn't protect the environment and ensure consumers will pay more for energy. Enacting the moratorium at the moment when coal is badly needed to ensure and secure reliable energy supply is wrong-headed on many fronts. This is a statement made by Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon. And the decision is bad for Wyoming. It hurts our country's ability to provide reliable, low cost energy to Americans. Um, so he's not very happy with this. Um, the Department of Secretary threw out Trump's air policy, but did not reinstate the ban, leading to return to court, the environmental groups called for Morris to order the ban and reinstate to ensure coal could not be mined on federal lands. So this is something that's been going back and forth. Hey, Susan. Susan, you ready to play? Tonight, I don't know. I think you guys are gonna. I think this is too easy for you guys tonight. Um, so, you got your popcorn and everything. Oh yeah, we like it. Um, hey, Miss Karen. Karen's our moderator. Karen and Mary are our moderators. So the coal production it will keep jobs, but I'm not too sure. Now we had some issues here a while back. Um, Maybe you two ladies can help me. Was it Pennsylvania or was it Georgia? That was the coal plants were polluting the streams. They were pouring all their um, refined material into. I guess that's what they call it. I know there's another name for it. They do it with gold. Um, After they process it, and they were pouring it into the rivers, and they got caught. See, that's my concern with coal. We can't trust private companies to do what they're supposed to. And so I agree, especially for Wyoming, Montana, and Colorado. Those are very beautiful states. And as much as population has grown, we don't need um, it polluted. I mean, I'm all for resources, but leave the states alone that has the beauty. Isn't that right, Karen? But see, I'm a tree hugger. I like trees. I want to plant more. I like the big ones. You guys, if you ever get the chance to go to the big trees in Northern California, they got clovers that big. They're huge. They're all over the place. I mean, I thought I was, in the land of the giants, and you are. Some trees are as big as wide their trunks as two cars. So if you guys get a chance to go up and see the big trees in Northern California, do it. All right, we're gonna keep going here. This one here, this kind of, I don't even know what to think about this. A dead man was found in New York City, surrounded by biohazard cans, and he had, um, boy, this guy must have been something because he had plans of weapons of mass destruction. Um, I, I think um, I think we need mental hospitals opened again. When everything gets back to normal, then people on the streets, they're not right. Now this one here, um, oh boy. Um, okay, the cops believed that a Kanish man who was found sitting in a chair had been dead and decomposing in the brutal August heat for at least a week. And what they found next was even more disturbing. He had a collection of canisters in his apartments with biohazard labels stuck to them. The police also found sealed jars. Um, they also said there was drawings all over his apartment with weapons of mass destruction. The entire building was empty, and the biohazard suits began to clear the apartment of anything deemed potentially dangerous. The neighbor told um, the police the Kanish man openly spoke of making poisons, which he kept in his apartment to ward off intruders and keep people from following him home. He also believed the CIA was after him. Oh boy. Uh, do we just say cuckoo? I, I mean, I couldn't even imagine having a neighbor like that. But you know what? People have neighbors like that that are just aren't right and right. Um, he should have been, and I read it, and um, you know, uh, they say that the wellness check on the Kanish man came after the owner of the restaurant below the Kanish man's apartment smelled. All right, and he was what he thought was a piece of rotting meat in his establishment, or perhaps a really big rat that had died. Um, boy, um, I think I'm speechless with that one. I don't usually get speechless, but that one I think I'm speechless on. So, ooh, goodness. All right. Um, it only gets. um, where is it? Um, let's see. I'm just going to go on with the next one. I think I can handle this one a bit better. Um, Drug gangs unleash violence in northern Mexican City. Now this comes out of Tijuana, and when I seen Tijuana, I got a hold of my friend down there, and the Mexican border cities of Tijuana, um, Mexicali, Rosario, and Ensenada are being hit by gang violence. It includes vehicles being set ablaze, roadblocks. They are smashing windows. They're um, setting fire to everything they could set fire onto. They said they're unleashing um, violence that they've never seen. These gangs appear to be targeting stores, vehicles, even innocent bystanders. People are running for their lives. The bystanders are basically trying to say, don't do this, and they're getting in disputes, and the gang members are trying to capture and hold them hostage. Uh, Baja California state officials said the total of 24 vehicles have been burnt at different points. Um, and Tijuana and the other two cities, um, they have had more vehicles that have been burnt. So far, no one has been seriously hurt, but there are a lot of injuries. They've gone crazy. Maybe they got a hold of Kanishman's stuff. Um, um, so this is now, according to my friend down in Tijuana, she says this is pretty serious. Enough for the consulate in Tijuana used a shelter in place alert after cartel members started torching vehicles, cars, and even with people in them. The attacks are tied to an apparent demand by one Mexico's most violent drug cartel to release some jailed members. The violence began Friday evening with numerous gunmen reported. and they are armed, they are dangerous, they said. Um, so now they're trying to do safe houses for the innocent victims as they are going and robbing places and grabbing people off the streets. Uh, Now, I heard they were shooting people and trying to get into people's houses. Um, so this is something very serious. This is just, they said, an out of the blue demand that this is what the cartel is doing. So, wow. So we it's a kind of is there? Yeah, there is a full moon, huh? Um, I guess that's what happens. Now everybody should be proud that Marjorie Taylor Greene drafts articles of impeachment against Merritt. Um, she's a brave girl. She's a brave. Well, I can't say she's a girl. She's my daughter's age. Um, she drafted articles impeachment, which won't likely go too far. Um, and this is in response to the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. Um, Now, the reason it's not going to go very far is because it's got to get past Nancy Pelosi. So it's going to be sitting there for a while. Um, Now, I started looking and trying to find out what happens to all of the articles and bills that's put to Nancy Pelosi from the Republican side, and I couldn't find out anything. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep checking though to find out, and they're out there. I could see them all piling up at uh, Congress.gov. So she should do a few for the Republicans, but they don't like us. The supermoon, yes, uh, that's what's wrong with people this weekend. Boy, I ought to have some good stuff by Tuesday for the critters. Um, Now this one here really disturbs me because isn't Germany and all of them on the clean air and uh, solar and everything's supposed to be nice. I'm not sure about Poland though, but Poland has a huge amounts of chemical waste dumped into the river that killed fish. So, huge amount of chemical waste were probably dumped intentionally into the Oder River, which runs along the border with Germany, causing environmental damage. Tons of dead fish have been floating and washed ashore, over the banks in the last 2 weeks. But the issue only erupted into a major scandal this last week. So they didn't know about it for almost a week that these chemicals had been dumped into the river. Now the problem is where does that river go? I'd be throwing some dye in it and find out how far this thing goes, because that could be water for people in Poland. And so they say that it's full of risks and consequences. And they said they're not going to let this matter go unscathed. The media have reported that the poison is mercury, and although it has not been confirmed, investigators are underway to determine the cause of the mass fish die-off. Huge numbers of dead fish were spotted near the southwestern Polish town of Olawa in late July. Well, heck, when was this written? Yeah, it's today. So um, they've been doing this since July, and what? Can you imagine mercury being dumped in one of your guys' rivers, like Lake Michigan, or even like the Colorado River? Can you imagine the damage it would do all the way to California? And they have been known about this, and now starting to do something about it. And this happened in July. Um, so the head of let's see, DACA, Mr. DACA, head of Polish Waters, the National Water Management Authority, Thursday said 10 tons of dead fish have been removed from the river. And it shows they're dealing with gigantic, outrageous ecological catastrophe. Meanwhile, Germany officials complained that Poland failed to honor a treaty by notifying them, about this immediately and the possible contamination of the river. A boat captain alerted the German authorities about the dead fish August 9th, but they didn't address it until the 11th. Oh boy. So we know that the chain of reporting um, in such cases didn't work. Yeah, I'd say so. Man, can you imagine that, you guys? That's my fear with fentanyl, is somebody that will dump fentanyl in the rivers. Look at all that massive amount. That would kill thousands of people and fish. Um, but we this is crazy times. This is really crazy times. Uh, you know, um, what gets me is the crime. The crime rate is so bad right now, and um, we just don't know what these people are going to do. I mean, look at what we've heard so far tonight. The cartels have grown crazy. We had a guy with thinking of weapons of mass destruction, drinking poisons, and um, oh my goodness, we got lots of it, lots of crazies. I bet you it's going to be a lot of crazies over this full moon too. All right, well, let's get on some better news. Um, um, Arizona is not going to wait. Um, they're not going to wait for the feds. They're going to start filling the wall border gaps. They have been waiting. They had the approval, and they said they have been moving the shipping containers close to 1,000-foot gap in the border, and it's near southern Arizona farming community of Yuma on Friday. Yuma is the one that's been complaining. This is a 9 foot, 60 foot long, um, and they're stacked to they're 9 foot tall. The containers uh, on top of each other, and they were started on it within Friday. They said it should be done, their part of it, by the end of next week. All right, so let's do some trivia, guys. Um, all right, so let's Karen and Susan. Where's William tonight? All right. How much did Sears sell its last black and white TV set for in 1990? Was it $79, 150, or 225? Sears. I didn't know they had black and white TVs in 1990, but I guess their last one was in 1990. So is it 79, 150, or 225? Put your answers down in the comments, and it'll pop up and let me see it. So, um, oh boy, I tell you what. Um, I'm glad they're doing the containers, the shipping containers in Yuma, because Yuma has been complaining for a very long time that they were having um, these illegals go through a portion. It's Arizona and New Mexico they were having problems with, and they were actually going onto the Indian reservations and just camping and saying they were going to stay there. Now, how they got the tents and how they got the camping equipment, I don't know, but they ended up on Indian land, and they said they didn't care it was Indian land, that um, it was probably theirs to begin with. So um, that was very disheartening to a lot of the chiefs there. And they were not only using it to do that, but they were getting into the farming communities, and they were messing up the the farming land, and taking the stuff, the fruit and the veggies, and also breaking into their houses. So uh, I'm glad this is going to start curbing a little bit of the flow. It's not going to be so easy. All right, a pipeline break spills 45,000 gallons of diesel in Wyoming. uh, a diesel pipeline in Wyoming owned by a company that's being sued by the federal prosecutors over previous spills. And two other states cracked open and released more than 45,000 gallons of fuel. State regulators and the company representative disclosed Friday. Cleanup work is ongoing from the spill, and it was discovered by the pipeline operator. Um, of all people, his name's Joe Hunter. emergency response coordinator with Wyoming Department of Environmental Quality. The fuel spilled into sandy soil on private ranch land near the small community of Sussex in eastern Wyoming. And it did not spread very far. It only contaminated the soil in the area and didn't go any further. So, wow, pipeline spills. You were there first. Well, no, I think we took it from the from Mexico, Karen. Um, Mexico was all the way up almost to um, Utah, is what I want to say, Southern California, a little bit of Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, and then we took it. And I think that's what's wrong. They want it back. All right, let's get the answer and go on to the next one. Answer is $79. Answer $79. Heck, I should have got a big one back then. The kids would have probably been mad. All right. Which Hollywood hunk first gained recognition playing a cowboy hitchhiker in the 1991 movie Thelma and Louise? So, which Hollywood hunk? Oh, I know what you mean, Karen. That the Indians had that first. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Um, and it was the Aztec and the Navajo that went up through those areas that took a lot of the Indian reservations before we ended up with the United States going through with the Trail of Tears. So, which Hollywood hunk first gained recognition playing a cowboy hitchhiker in the 1991 movie Thelma and Louise? So put your answers in there. All right, come on over there in Facebook land. You guys love this show. So, all right. I'm going to get back to this. Um, Johnson and Johnson. Karen, you might make sure you don't get no baby powder from Johnson and Johnson. Um, Neutrogena and Aveeno aerosol sunscreen products due to the presence of benzene. Huh. That's what I was allergic to growing up was benzene. So they say um, let's see, Neutrogena, you Neutrogena, oh boy, Neutrogena, Beach Defense, aerosol sunscreen. So I guess it's not baby powder. Neutrogena Cool Dry Sport, Neutrogena Invisible Daily, Neutrogena Ultra Sheer, Aveeno Refresh Aerosol Sunscreen. Um, so Johnson and Johnson suggests everybody go to their site, um, either johnsonandjohnsons.com or go to neutrogena.com or aveeno.com to find out exactly what has been recalled. So John Wayne, I don't know if John Wayne was at Thelma and Louise. So, all right, we'll get you the answer and we're going to move on. I think everybody's having a great summer. Everybody's out and about here in Conway. And the answer is Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. Uh, all right. And the next one. All right. He was the first talkable bear. Name him. Do we know his name? He, my sister Peggy knows what his name is. She had one. Now that I think about it. So I know she's pointing and saying she knows it. She knows it. So, and she collected Cabbage Patch dolls. Um, now there is, I'm going to touch on this just a little bit. Liberals are implying that Trump should be executed. They're talking executed, assassinated. Shame on them. I mean, it's a big story. Just about every um, news organization I looked at today, they were talking about this and how the liberals, even politicians, are coming out and saying he needs to be, if they can't get him on this, he needs to be assassinated. Um, that is just so wrong. As much as I don't like Joe Biden, as much as I hated the Clintons, I've never wished that upon them. That's just wrong. That's morally, ethically wrong, wrong, and they need to think about what they're saying. I hope the FBI or DOJ can go after them for this, but I doubt it. The spellings don't matter. So Teddy Ruxpin. I think it's Rux though. Eh, eh, yeah, Ruxpin. I think it's RUX. So Ellie's got a big typo there, but that's what the answer was spelled out for me. Yep, Peggy knows. So Peggy gets a point. Peggy gets a point there. I knew she knew who it was. All right, so onward to the next one. Okay. Now, what is it? I know you can't really see it, the letters, but is it rock salt? This is an item that has been blown up. So, is it rocks, sea life, or salt and pepper? I thought it was marshmallows um, and cereal, like what do you call that? Life cereal or Golden Grams? There you go. I thought it was marshmallows and Golden Grams. I was way off. What is it? So is it rocks, sea life, or salt and pepper? See if you guys know. Okay. Researchers now that they're looking at the NRA and others, researchers allege FBI seriously undercounts armed citizens due to the fact that citizens buy their weapons um, from multiple people and private owners to gun shows, but also uh, they underestimated the times of armed citizens and gang members um, have had guns with no serial numbers on them, and also finding out through the courts and through their trials or their times being punished that there's no serial numbers on this. And they say the discrepancy to the errors is on the FBI's part, including misidentifying guns, overlooking incidents. And the FBI says that only 4% of active shooters incidents in the last 15 years were interrupted or stopped by an armed citizen. But according to others and a uh, gun enthusiasts, the number is actually 14%. This comes from the NRA. And the FBI defines an active shooter as an individual uh, actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined populated area. Um, the FBI um, criteria is they want to eliminate as many incidents that should be um, included in active shooting and shooters. So, um, So I'm glad. See, that's what the NRA is all about, folks. It's not about they sell guns and make guns. The NRA has a lot more that they do, and I think the FBI would rather intimidate FBI with the NRA for their info than just asking them for it. And not only that, they're finding out that they're going into gun shops and they've been checking out all the gun shops and they're harassing and threatening people that go in there to buy guns. So the FBI is just being thugs. Well, look at their track record right now. And that's what they are. They're not going in and they're not questioning um, consumers that are purchasing firearms. They're going in and threatening them. And not only that, but they're threatening shop owners, um, and going back multiple times and asking for their paperwork, asking for their all their licensing, and asking about their guns, and making sure their serial numbers and seeing what they have displayed, counting their guns. And one gun shop owner said that the FBI goes into a shop at least 5 to 8 times a month, and usually, it's like once a year when the feds go in there. So anyway, the answer, I know you guys are dying to find this out. And the answer is salt and pepper blown up. All right, on to the next one. What was the butler's name in the TV show Fresh Prince of Bel Air? Anybody remember the butler's name? I couldn't remember. I don't remember all those names. I was thinking Belvedere, but I think that's another show um, called Belvedere. All right. Um, so it last night I did do a breaking news, and I described a little bit what was going on with Trump. Um, and there's violations of espionage, and according to them, there were sets of classified files that they found. 4 sets were labeled top secret. 3 sets were labeled secret. Documents, 3 more sets were confidential. 1 set was labeled top secret sensitive. Um, now, um, the classification levels designed to um, compartmentalize secrets from people who don't need to know because it risks severe damage to the country's national security. Now, any Larry, I think you might even have the same thing. Um, uh, Military members always have basically a class of secret. I believe they're given that because the stuff they see and do as military members. Not only that, but uh, what they found what they found, they say they found, is no different than what they found with Hillary Clinton. Now, now you guys remember the show from last night? We were talking about Berger. He was the one that snuck into the National Archives, and not once but 3 times, and took classified documents. And he was only fined, I think, $50,000. Um, so they are saying that there are 3 potential crimes, and the list of seized items does not describe them in detail. FBI agents were looking for documents related to nuclear weapons. Even they found 7 email chains concerned the matter that was classified. Now, um, Trump was briefed on national security issues on documents, and he was telling John Bolton, about the documents he was taking, and he went ahead and signed for him. It was stuff he was declassifying. And so when John Bolton was questioned about this on CBS, he said he would often ask intelligence briefers if he could keep some of the documents. And he said that what he says is accurate. He did do that. So he hasn't been formally charged for a crime. And actually, this would come from the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of Florida. So that's who's going to be filing the charge from him. Now, the timeline of the documents, this is, I guess, very important to his lawyers. They said in January of 2021, Trump left the office with the documents and notifying the proper channels and the National Archives. Late 2021, National Archives reaches out to Trump team and lawyers about missing potentially classified information and asked if he was declassifying. January 2022, Trump team gives National Archives 15 missing boxes. Uh, January 2020, Trump team gives National. I'm sorry, I just read that. June of 2022, high-level officials meet for a cordial meeting at Mar-a-Lago, and this was Trump was at this meeting to negotiate the turnover of the documents. Um, so, S so they're basically the standards with the Espionage Act, and these are classified documents. Now, if you remember back in 2016, the Department of Justice and the FBI took official position that Hillary Clinton, who was in possession, including classified documents, including secret, top secret, uh, and not only that, but national security documents. Um, and secret information outside having a secure facility. So she took home what now what I remember with Tom Fenton during the trial with the um, um, it was the Arabs, and I can't remember what their name is. It wasn't the Podestas, it was these other guys. And what had happened is that she had the 3 servers. She had 2 servers at her home. She took them home, and they weren't secure. So for them to say Trump not securing the documents, I can't see the difference because she had high level, top secret national security documents. And then she had all those emails that she was um, doing that had national security um, breaches, and she deleted those. Um, so we don't know who she sent them to. Um, and what did we get from Comey? You know, you look and you think about the scenario with Hillary and Comey. Um, they're just basically said because she didn't understand what the process was for these. They just called her naive. And it's almost the same thing. Trump can almost do it because he did let them know. And um, Trump's lawyers, they said they were very cooperative, um, that Trump appeared, offered his services. They wanted a lock box on one of them. They wanted it secured with a lock on it, and he put a padlock on it. Um, you know, my thing is June 2022, they could have been back out and they could have just picked up the documents. And National Archives, um, getting a hold of them, they were in monthly. His lawyers were talking with National Archives. Uh, so they had complete um, cooperation from not only the Trump team, but his lawyers and Trump himself. And um, and they left. They said they're going to need a stronger lock. Well, if they were so into that these were needed to be secure, why didn't the FBI take them then? If these documents were so classified and top secret, why didn't they just take them? They would have been secure, you know. I think that's probably what his lawyers are probably asking. So I don't want to get too far into this. And they knew once National Archives discovered it, that they had to give them back. So he did. He did the 15 boxes, and he did declassify them. And Larry, did you watch the show last night? Because you could tell when these documents have been declassified because they have marks on them. There's certain marks and stamps they have to put on there when they declassify them. So, I would like to see them. Myself, I'm with Trump. Release the documents so we could see it. Are are they going to slip something in? I don't know. But it was really weird that um, January 6th committee had to go on break for a second. a couple days. They said they had to look for some stuff on Trump, and then this happens. Huh? Coincidence. So anyway, off to the Bel Air thing. I'll have to go back up and see if you guys had answers for this. Got it right. Answer is Jeffrey. Answer is Jeffrey. No one answered that one. Huh. Come on now. DB, stick your nose in and tell us some of these answers. All right. Name this board game. You have to look at it and think on it. This is an old board game. And no, it's not Sorry. This is not the game Sorry. So, no, it's not Sorry. All right. So I'm going to go back up. This, no security clearance is operation or need to know. Confidential, secret, and top secret crypto. The background, here's the question. Who is the commander in chief? Now, Larry, did you see my show last night where there has been where you can declassify items. You can take them and you can declassify them, and you can take anything you want. As far as when you want classified documents, and they have policies for everybody, but they're the only one that can do what they want with with classified documents is the president and vice president. Go back and watch it because I had the info right there last night. So anybody know the name of this game? It is not Sorry. Come on now, Susan. I know you know this one. DB, come on. You know you're good at this game now. I don't know if he's good at this game, but so the whole thing with Trump, is it going to blow up in their face, the FBI's? I think his lawyers are going to have enough on um, actual laws of not only the Constitution, but the transfer of documents, policies. I think is going to be able to get him off. Um, so we'll just I can't predict this because you can't predict what the liberals are going to do. And Garland and all of them with the FBI, I think they need to clean house. Um, it's got you stumped. All right. Um, and the answer is Parcheesi. The answer is Parcheesi. So, um, all right. What 90s epic war movie was named the best picture of the year by 60 movie critics? What was the best war movie? See, I would have said the one with the Green Berets with John Wayne, but that wasn't it. It's a 90s movie. So Green Berets was made back in the 70s uh, after everything they've done. Well, see that do you trust them? Look at everything that the FBI and this administration had done. The Russia, the stuff with Hillary, everything they've done has not panned out to pin anything. His taxes, all those women, he still has now. You would not believe the lawsuits against Trump right now. There's about 30 lawsuits against him. And it was like, oh, he touched me, so I'm hurt. Um, and there's still a girl on there that claims that he touched her inappropriately. And all the ones that thought they had something serious and they all went to court for it, they all backed out before they even got a date for court. They backed out, except for one, and they got her all the way in there, and they said she had to take the stand. And then when they went to swear her in, she wouldn't, and they had to drop the case because she wouldn't swear in. So, all right, let's see if anybody. Let's see. Susan says platoon, and Karen says platoon. No, the answer is Saving Private Ryan. I'm getting you. I thought it was going to be too easy for you guys tonight. I think I'm getting you. Come on, DB. Where's your answers tonight? All right. Um, which 1988 film has a fortune teller machine called Zoltar? Which 1988 film has a fortune teller machine called Zoltar? Huh. So, let's see. One common thing with all the hoaxes, though, what gets me, and this really bugs me, and it has for for at least 20 years. Um, with all the hoaxes that's going on, the media always, like New York Times and the Washington Post, I think it is, uh, get out of the blue. They get, oh, we have this leaker. Yeah, this is a whistleblower leaker, and they don't tell anyone who it is, and then we find out it's all a lie. The New York Times and the Post need to be looked at from the FBI. How do they keep getting this info to turn over to FBI and CIA? Just boom, all of a sudden, oh yeah, we got another leak or we got another story, and they ended up them and CNN at Roger Stone's house. How did they? Who leaked that info? If this is if the FBI and this and um, New York Times and the Post and CNN keep getting all this stuff before everybody else. There's a leak at the FBI. So um, that's all I have to say on it. I just think it's really odd that um, the Times and the Post always get this stuff, and they always get told, and they're already there when the FBI get there. So. Um, Huh. All right. So, uh, it's my understanding that some of the documents are evidence of laws broken by the FBI, and they have to be registered in the courts. Huh. I keep looking around and seeing what I can find. All right. Let's get the answer to this. And the answer is big. All right. Name this game. Name this game. I hope you guys could see it. It's all little contraptions and um, there's a staircase and um, a cup with a thing that goes up with a like a basket on the top of it. Um, See if you guys know which one this is. Um, Now, Jinping, over in China, oddly enough, China and Taiwan are having um, exercises together. I thought, wow, how that's hmm hmm. Now they had some with on intelligence with the United States, and they said we blew them out of the water, and that's according to Military Times. Um, but Jinping is also going over to Saudi this week. And the other thing is Fort Bragg. Uh, um, they are having to vacate almost all of the housing and a lot of the office buildings due to extreme white and black mold, and the families are getting upset because they've been there a very long time, and a lot of them had to move out, and it's costing them. And they haven't um, put in for housing payments to be changed, so it's all out of pocket. They're not getting military housing for free. So, and they said this is gonna. They think that they're going to have to totally take down the whole housing section because that's how bad the mold is. So, wow. All right. Okay. Larry, you're going to catch up to these girls. Where's William tonight? He must have slept. William's been kind of under the weather. So, And the answer is Mousetrap. And what was the names of the families on the TV series Soap? One was Tate. What's the other one? The other name of the family. There was two families. What was the names of the families on the TV series Soap? It was Tate's and what? Does anybody remember that? Okay. Um, Russian families are fleeing Crimea because they're the only ones. They're not the only ones. Russians are, um, and it's an exodus, and they're leaving Crimea. And what's going on is um, uh, Ukraine started firing at the Russians because they got control of the plant, and they've had control of the plant since March. And so they started firing and getting pretty close to this nuclear plant. And so Russia, to try to get them to back away and back off so they don't hit it, fired approximately 80 missiles at them. And they're coming back and they're coming back strong. And they're finding out that the explosion may have been, I'm thinking, they say a rogue militia group that is a kind of part of the military, but not. And to me, it sounds like the Azov battalion, but they had the name of another uh, militia. And what they're finding out is they may have been the ones that blew up, blew up part of one of the nuclears, uh, part of the plant. So you never watched the show? Huh. What was the name of the families on the TV series Soap, Tates, and um, we'll see what the answer is. So what they're doing is um, now instead of Zelensky going to the UN like Putin has been, Putin has went to the UN and the inspectors. Not only that, but other inspectors that do the plants for Russia. Been trying to get them to find out what has been going on and find out who did that explosion. Well, uh, this week, Zelensky has announced he's going to go talk to the Pope. Why isn't he talking to inspectors or the UN and getting them in there? Because when the inspectors were all ready to go in there, Zelensky backed out. Now he's going to go talk to the Pope. That just sounds fishy to me. So Tiana is under attack. Tijuana, yes, Mary. I reported on that. There, the governor and not governor, the mayor of Tijuana and the mayor of San Diego are looking for safe places. They're under big attack. Karen, we were just talking about that with Mexico, where they're doing fire bombs and they're trying to grab people and they're setting cars on fire with people in them. They're shooting, um, and it's all along the northern border. So, uh oh, you didn't get the well. Hit the bell tonight, then, Judith. We still got a few left. Um, so that's so what we're seeing over there in Russia is the fact that now we need to find out who's doing who made the explosion. But if Russia's telling, and this is just strategic stuff, um, if Russia's telling them to back off, why doesn't the Ukraine army back off? Their military. Larry, you might be able to even mention that. Um, well, I'll get to the Tijuana thing in a second. So Ukraine keeps firing at this plant, and they know if they hit it, that it's going to cause it to um, uh, spew radiation into the air, and not only going to hit Russia, but it's going to hit Europe too. So they're going to take that risk. Where Russia has got it totally secure with 500 that's at the plant, and they even have Ukrainian um, um, experts and scientists that are in that plant to make sure that the Russians aren't doing anything that would cause any harm or to um, sabotage the nuclear plant. So, oh boy. So, anyway, so back to, um, well, I'm going to go and get the name of, get the answer to this, and we'll go on to the next question for you guys. Um, and the answer is Campbell's. Answer is Campbell's. Okay. What is the name of this board game? What is the name of this board game? All right, Mary. Um, they say the violence began on Friday, Mary, and Tijuana issued a shelter-in-place alert after cartel members torched numerous vehicles and cars, and in 5 major cities, possibly more. And in the border state of Baja, also, they say Baja is under attack as well as Tijuana. This has been the most violent attack by the drug cartels ever. They say alleged members of CJNG sent out a series of threats to social media that they claimed the state would be in a state of siege as a way to pressure authorities to release some of their jailed members. The gunmen claimed that they would be kidnapping any citizen that they encountered on the streets during the siege. They're saying all local residents need to flee the city and find other shelters. Um, they say state authorities say there's at least 17 arsons. Um, let's see. Okay, I might be able to get away with this. It's like 19 seconds long. Um, all right, let me. So when I end the trivia tonight, I got a video you guys can watch. Can't make out the board game. Oh boy, it's red and blue pieces, and they're like little squares, and they got little gold or silver, um, like royalty things on them. And it's not checkers or anything like that. It's a strategic game. Um, I don't know what else to say. Um, one you don't let them see and it's got bombs in it too. These pieces to where if you put it in a place, it blows up the piece that's there. Um, uh, so anyway, anybody else? Judith, um, or Mary? All right, and the answer is Stratego. The answer is Stratego. Oh, I spelled it wrong. All right. What kitchen item is this? Um, it is something you find in your kitchen cupboards. Um, and that is actually the bottom of it. Um, which kitchen item is this? And I spelled Stratego wrong. Did you guys see that? Boy, my typos tonight were bad. And I even thought I double checked it all. But I do rooks and knights. Um, and I put all these videos together, and it takes a while. I gotta, I sometimes I copy and paste the questions, sometimes I have to type it out, and then of course I have to type all the answers in, and the pictures I have to hunt down. So, um, a pill squisher. This is something in your kitchen that you would use. So, uh, but Mary, as far as I know, my friend down in Tijuana, what she was saying is she had to vacate. She said they're just going up and down the streets, they're shooting in the air, they're um, setting cars on fire, every car they can find. And when I read her the report, she says, "Oh no, it's way worse than that." So if you are planning to go to Mexico, do not go. Stay away from Tijuana. Stay away from the border. I would even stay away from San Diego for until they get control of this. So, all right. So I'll give you the answer to this one. The answer is a pan, and the picture is the bottom of the pan. So that is a cooking pan. Well, I got you guys tonight, and I thought I had it too easy for you guys. All right, now what game is this? You got these little wooden things, and you have to just stack them up. What's the name of it? What is the name of this game? Um, so I'm finishing up. The only thing I have on the whole Tijuana thing is that these drug gangs are they have been in control of the border, right along the border for about 6 months now, and it don't get out in the news. Um, um, and the border patrol agents have been talking about because they take shots at them. They're not aiming at them. They shoot the ground next to them, or they'll shoot something next to them. They're shooting their vehicles. But a border patrol is basically saying that these drug cartels totally control all along the border for California, Arizona, and New Mexico, and that Texas is the only one that they have pretty much control over. And they said because a lot of people, uh, Americans, live on the Mexican side, all the way to Brownville. So you guys have no clue. All right, let's see if we got it. So Mary, stick around. I'll show you that video. Answer is Jenga. The answer is Jenga. My kids used to love that game. All right, so One Hit Wonders 90s song, How Bizarre, was performed by who? These are one hit wonders. It's a 90s tune or song. How Bizarre was performed by who? Um, you never played it? Oh, you ought to. You ought to play it with your grandkids. It's a blast. My granddaughter, when it fell over, we didn't get it very far, and when it fell over, she was like, "Well, that's not nice." She, I go, "Hey, wait till I teach you how to do a card house." That's kind of what it is, but thicker pieces. It's like a little card house. I love doing the card houses with my kids. And I did it with my grandson, but I haven't done it with the granddaughter yet. Boy, Karen, wait till you do all this fun stuff. Boy, start learning all them nursery rhymes, girl. Start learning all of them. Now, now you get a chance, and go watch the Wiggles and uh, Sesame Street, the early ones of them. So, oh yeah, I know all the little jingles of the kids, but I only did that because I was doing parties. The answer is OMC. The answer is OMC. And for the song, Oh, How Bizarre. All right, we're almost to the end. A one hit wonder 80s song, Walking on Sunshine, was performed by who? Walking on Sunshine. Who did that one? That was another one hit wonder, but that was in the 80s. I believe it was like 88 when that one came out. See, I know all the songs, I just don't know the people. So, you never heard of them? Walking on Sunshine. Oh, I'm not singing very well tonight. I'm all scratchy. Mine is only, yeah. So, um, mm, Karen, do you think you got that right? You know who I thought did it? I was thinking the Fifth Dimension. Everybody's like, what? Yeah, I run it through a couple friends, and they're like, "Oh, no, they did. That's back in the '60s. They didn't make it to the '80s." Um, you saw them in concert in Philadelphia. Okay, Mary, we're almost there. I believe this is it. Katrina and the Waves. That's who did it. All right. So let me pull that down, and I'm going to get that. Um, I'm gonna let you guys watch that video. It's 19 seconds, so I think I can get away with showing you guys. Um, okay, and you guys can see it, and here we go. Ok, el señor huele, tiene un fuerte olor a gasolina. Exactamente, sí. Señor, debe de alejarse por seguridad. ¿No? Bueno, esto es lo que está pasando. But that's it. They showed just that one on fire. But you could see that they set that bus on fire. They're setting everything on fire, according to my source down there. And I'm going to keep an eye, have her zing me every so often on my phone to see how everything's going down there. So, yeah, it is totally erupted, they say, into a cartel war. And the U.S. consulate is ordered safe places for people to go to, so they are safe. Some is on the American side, and some is on the Mexico side. They said 5 cities. I heard 7 or more are erupted in full violence. They said they plan for it to be worse tonight, throughout the night, and then they'll see. Uh, they'll evaluate everything in the morning to find out what they need to do next. I think they ought to pull out their police, but there's guns. This is going to be a gunfight. So, um, with that, folks, that is it for the. Well, let me see. I almost forgot again. Way to go, Karen, with 8. Susan had 7. Larry had 5. Peggy had 1. So way to go, Miss Karen. I almost forgot to do it again. I had to apologize to Linda for missing hers. So it was all the one-hit wonders, wasn't it, Karen? So anyway, we will see everyone on Monday night for Legends of Myths and Monsters. Unless something happens, you see when there's breaking news, I will jump back in there and give breaking news. So I'm sorry your bell don't work, girl. What about your Facebook? I know you got me on Facebook. Do you get, as long as you follow, I think they send you a notification. I'm just not sure if it notifies you like it should. So, with that, folks, subscribe and share. Share it tonight. Tonight was some pretty good trivia, and of course, eruption of um, what's going on in Mexico. And hopefully, we don't have to pull our military, our National Guard down there to the border to help. Uh, Over in Facebook, please hit the follow and the like, and share it. We're growing, and Larry said he wants to do some Bible study tomorrow night. I'm gonna give him a call after the show and get him all set up for that. So there might be a show tomorrow night. So you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Don't fret over all this news and stuff with Trump. Um, Find a good movie to watch. I've been watching really bad reruns of Survivor on Pluto, I think it is, and I'm kind of liking it. Me and the kids are like, it's been a while, so we really don't know who wins, and we kind of make bets on who's gonna get the end at the end, who's the final three. So, you guys have a wonderful weekend. We will be back on Monday night. If not, you'll see Larry tomorrow night with some Bible study. You all take care. Be safe. Be very safe. The crime is just really exploding right now. So God bless. Fill the churches tomorrow. And if not, go and maybe do something nice for someone in your neighborhood. So with that, we'll see you all Monday. Bye bye.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin.